morning, and welcome back to our final fabulous segment here on CityLine. And with me, I have two members of the Tacoma Historical Society. And when I say members, I want to be clear. I have the president and I have a brand new curator. So please join me in welcoming former Mayor Mr. Bill Baarsma.
Glad to be here again.
Good to have you here. Still the president of Tacoma Historical Society. Did you ever have any thought in your mind that you were going to be a president of a Tacoma
That was not on my radar screen.
I didn't think that was.
It just kind of happened.
It did. Well, and it's a perfect fit. Another perfect fit is Elizabeth Korsmo. Welcome to CityLine, my dear.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you. You are our brand new curator here. And before we get to know you, let's flip back here to Mr. Baarsma.
Sure.
If somebody doesn't know and we want to go, are you alive? How do you not know about Tacoma Historical Society? It is one of our jewels here in Tacoma.
Thank you.
What's new?
Well, you know, we're still there.
Yes.
You know, I like to say your Tacoma Historical Society Museum is located at 919 Pacific Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 4, no admission charge. When you join us and visit us, you'll see a little retail center, and then our current exhibit is honoring the 150th anniversary of Tacoma's public schools. Mm-hmm. And so we have many artifacts and articles and such about the history of Tacoma schools. We had a couple of interns from UPS who spent their entire summer researching all the schools that were here in Tacoma at one time or another. So we have a little record of every single public school, including the very first one, that people can look and enjoy and kind of revisit.
I love that.
Yeah.
So another great exhibit is the one sitting next to you, in the sense of, dun dun dun, you've hired Elizabeth, who is the new curator, after a nationwide search.
That's right.
So give her the proper introduction here.
Well, a terrific find, by the way.
Yes.
And people, you know, it's interesting. It was a nationwide search. We had over 20 applications from all over the country, including out of the country. I want you to know. And we, you know, our managing director looked at the credentials and kind of whittled the list down. We were really interested in having someone that had an appreciation of Northwest history and had some Tacoma connection, some interest in connection with Tacoma. And Elizabeth just fit the bill terrifically. She has strong academic credentials. She has a great resume, a lot of experience, understands the importance of curation and protection of our collection, over 10,000 items currently. And so it was a great choice, and it was a local person, and we're delighted to have her on board.
Elizabeth, welcome. My goodness. So Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about your background.
I grew up in Spokane, attended UW in Seattle, finished my museology 2-year master's degree there. I have also been working down here in Tacoma for about 5 years as with Fort Nisqually Living History Museum as one of their costumed interpreters. So you may have seen me running around there. I'm like,
you look so familiar. Now I get it. Okay.
So you've been to the candlelight tours.
Yes.
There in the house.
Okay.
But I also, while I was in school, I was mostly studying care for collections. And so I worked at the Henry Art Gallery with their historic textile collection there. I bet you didn't expect a modern art museum to have a historic textile collection. And then I also did my internships and my thesis work at MoHI in Seattle, working with their mid-19th century dress collection, and specifically researching clothing in the Seattle area and in King County and the greater Puget Sound during the 1850s and 60s, which, as you can be sure, is a very interesting period to be researching dress history.
I bet. I was just thinking that. And now I'm thinking, okay, so when is the first dress exhibit going to happen at Tacoma Historical Society? We'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about the current collection. And it's so great to have you, because when I say current collection, I can just see the wheels start turning in your brain. And so this is a really refreshing element to have. So what do we have in our collection?
As Bill mentioned, over 10,000 items, many of which you can view pictures and brief descriptions of online. If you go to tacomahistory.org, our website, we have our past perfect files up there for many items. So particularly if you're interested in coming in to do a research appointment, privately view some things, definitely take a look there and see what we have. Also, as I mentioned, just started, so I'm still sort of getting my feet underneath me as far as what we have. Though we did bring a few items to share with you today that we think you might enjoy.
Yeah.
So here we go, show
Yes.
and tell. And
Yes.
I'm just going to keep my hands to myself, so
Okay.
take it away.
Well, the first item we have, if you're a property owner and you've lived in Tacoma, you're familiar with what is called the local improvement districts. And
Yes.
these are little taxi districts that are formed in neighborhoods for the purpose of sidewalks. And I live in one. Our alley was paved as a result. There have been many local improvement districts formed over the years. And I've always wondered, when was the first one formed? And what were the circumstances? And in point of fact, we have
Here
the
it is.
journal of LID number 1.
Oh my gosh.
And and it was a paving project. And can you imagine? Can you guess what street was paved?
Tacoma Avenue.
Well, close.
Yakima.
Pacific Avenue.
Pacific Avenue, okay.
And we have all the documents, much of it handwritten documents. The remonstrances, in other words, the protests.
Oh my gosh, I just want to
and
lean in.
The list of all of the property owners at the time, many of whom became mayor, that were or were former mayors. The journal entries, the payment schedules, all of that is there. And this is another item that undoubtedly was headed to the landfill. My guess is that it was probably it was on microfilm somewhere in the city's archives. And one of our members heard about it, and there's the map of
Oh my
Pacific Avenue
gosh.
and all the properties along Pacific Avenue. You know that the People's Department Store existed in 1895? This is 1895 we're talking about.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
LID number 1,
Okay, so here,
1895.
here many times I think we think about the history of Tacoma, and we think timelines. Maybe we think businessmen, spinsters, teachers, all these things. Then you bring in an artifact like this,
Right.
and suddenly the world opens up. My
got it.
world does, and it's
Yes.
no longer that. It's so much bigger than that.
Yes.
Okay, what else do we have?
Okay.
So similar time frame. This is an item we're pretty excited about that recently was given to the museum. It's the 1885 daybook diary of J.C. Weathered, who was a
my
businessman in
gosh.
Tacoma. And so it's every single day he's handwriting what he saw and experienced. And we are at least of the work we've done so far with this item, we're very interested in his eyewitness accounts of the Chinese expulsion November 3rd and 4th. Good reminder that history has lots of different sides. Among other things, his entry on November 4th explicitly calls out the newspapers for lying.
Oh,
He thinks that they do
interesting.
not describe the events that happened accurately at all, and he underlines the word lie to show that he disagrees with them.
Now you have to understand, during this period, there was a year we'll call kind of the Reign of Terror, directed toward the Chinese, led by the then mayor of Tacoma. And so 1885 was really a dark year in Tacoma's history, and this is a day-by-day account of his experiences and handwritten account of what he saw in Tacoma during that year.
That is an exhibit unto itself.
It's
right
incredible.
There.
Walk through
Boom.
the door.
Yeah, I'm like, let
It's
me at
unbelievable.
that. That is
It's
incredible.
a treasure. It's priceless.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a gift. What do you have in your hand?
And then to go with that, we unfortunately don't have as many items as I would like reflecting that Chinese community. But one of the things we do have is this coin that was found in the Old Town area that is believed to date from that period, since the Chinatown, the area that was pulled down, was right there by Old Town. And the coin has so far been dated to the 18th century,
Okay.
possibly as late as 1795, but found its way to Tacoma and was used here.
Oh my goodness. The DNA on that.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Absolutely. And then what's that
Last
one?
item,
Yeah, this one.
Okay,
This Bill wants to talk about.
Okay,
that.
Bill.
Got your glove on?
Well, yeah, but I wanted to add this because it turns out that the other day, thank you. The other day, I was watching public television. They had a special on Joseph McCarthy.
Yes, yes.
And the communist scare period.
Uh-huh.
So it turns out that one of my classmates at UPS, his grandfather was a member of the Communist Party.
Oh, no.
And was in Tacoma, and was a card-carrying member of the Communist Party and a dues-paying member of the Communist Party. So we have his membership card, plus the receipts for the dues he paid to the Communist Party in Tacoma, Washington, 1938. Yeah,
That's the
it's amazing.
best. History does not lie. There it is in
Yeah.
print. I love that. So this is incredible. Can we have her every time? Something else?
More to show and tell.
I mean,
we have a
because
lot.
it's got to be endless of what you
Yeah.
have, and this is what This is what brings history alive. This is incredible.
Yeah.
It's always, I mean, when you opened up the registry, I could smell it. I was like, there it is. I mean, that is, that's an ancient civilization smell that you happen to get a whiff of. There are so many ways that the Tacoma Historical Society brings all this to life. One of them also is the home
Correct.
tour.
Mm-hmm.
Let's kind of talk about that, what
Sure.
we can expect this year.
Well, it's the first weekend in May every year, and we have a number of commitments already, not homes but buildings. One I'm very excited about, and that is the original Washington State History Museum location called the Ferry Museum, which for many years has been closed to the public and open only to researchers. Just above Stadium Bowl, across from Stadium High School. And I talked to Jennifer Kilmer, the director of the Washington State Historical Society, and she's arranged to have that open for the first time for the public. So that will be open for the tour. Stadium High School has been on the tour in the past, about 10 years ago, but we want to give people the opportunity to visit Stadium again. And so that's also on the tour right across, of course, from the Ferry Museum. And then First Presbyterian Church will be kind of the area that people can gather and get their tickets and such. And so that, of course, is an important part of Tacoma's history.
Yes.
We have a number of homeowners that we've reached out to in the past that we think will be forthcoming for this tour. So it's an exciting one, and it's in process. People will hear more as the dates draw near.
Right.
And we're very excited about it. It'll be our 26th annual home tour.
There it is.
Yeah.
Boy, 26 years of perfection. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for all that you do, and thank you for hiring this gem. And both of you always have a permanent place on the comfy couch, but this time you always have to come back and bring your toys, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well done. Thank you so much. That wraps up another great segment of CityLine. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home. Boy, have we given you some really great things to think about in our wonderful city. Please go out there, be a part of the tapestry, and above all, pay it forward. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here at CityLine. Take care.
Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. Place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Oh, you're from Seattle. Oh, you're from LA. Oh, you're from Chicago, but Tacoma's where you'll stay. Oh, you're from Seattle. Chicago, but Tacoma's where you'll stay, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home, from the fire